Hello again. Now the main stories in London. Firefighters across the capital have begun a 24-hour strike as part of an ongoing campaign against changes to their pensions. There have already been several walkouts over the issue, but this is the longest stoppage yet. Our reporter Ria Chatterjee has sent this report from Soho Fire Station.
Well, there are lots of different messages flying about this morning. There are the firefighters who say government plans to raise the retirement age and increase pension contributions are simply unfair. The government is accusing the union of disrupting discussions. And then you've got the London Fire Brigade who are urging people to get takeaways instead of cooking whilst the World Cup is on. During the last World Cup, there was an increase in house fires because people were distracted by the football. And that may be one of the key messages ordinary Londoners pick out of this strike. Is safety still a priority?
Well, no one wants to strike in the fire service. I don't know a single firefighter who wants to strike. And of course, you know, it would be mad to claim that there are no public safety issues related to striking. But the much bigger safety issue here is the idea of having large numbers of firefighters approaching 60 years of age serving on the front line. The vast majority of the public we've spoken to understand that that is dangerous and it's wrong.
The government say they believe a solution can be reached, but not under the shadow of industrial action. They say it only serves to damage firefighters' reputations with members of the public.
Ria Chatterjee reporting there. A man's been arrested in connection with a suspected homophobic attack outside a Vauxhall nightclub. A gay man had bleach sprayed in his face near the Lightbox Club in the early hours of Sunday morning. A 31-year-old man is being held on suspicion of assault. Nick Clegg says water cannons aren't the answer to tackling riots and disorder in the capital. 2 vehicles have been ordered for the Metropolitan Police, but they can't be used until approved by the Home Office. Today, the Deputy Prime Minister told LBC Radio that water cannons would not have helped during the London riots.
The idea that in the riots where people are scurrying down small streets, smashing windows and then rushing off, small groups moving around in a very kind of fluid situation, the idea that a great big lumbering second-hand German water cannon is going to somehow be wheeled out and sort all that out, I think is fanciful. And I personally think it also rubs up against the long tradition of policing by consent on London streets.
Another gorgeous day today. Is it going to continue into the weekend and tomorrow? Let's find out. Here's James.
We love to get away, whatever the weather. My Ferrylink Dover to Calais ferries sponsor ITV London weekday weather.
Good afternoon, some lovely sunshine out there to enjoy. It's very warm too. In fact, the weather over the next few days remaining generally settled. This afternoon sees the thermometer rise to 25 Celsius. Not much of a breeze around, so you'll really feel it. The sun is getting quite strong now, so do take care if you're outside for a long period of time. Overnight tonight, plenty of clear spells around. Temperatures only down to 13 or 14 Celsius. Again, not much of a breeze, so could be a little bit on the uncomfortable side. And then more sunshine to enjoy through tomorrow.
My Ferrylink Dover to Calais ferries sponsor ITV London weekday weather.
The Pollen Count, sponsored by Checkatrade.com. Checkatrade.com.
The bad news is if you suffer from hay fever, you're really not going to like this forecast because we've got very high levels over the next few days. Watch out in particular for that evening peak. Have yourself a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Well, don't forget your sunblock. Well, that's all we've got time for this lunchtime. But join me again at 6 o'clock when we'll be back with the latest headlines. Until then, have a great afternoon and enjoy the sunshine. Goodbye.